Manchester United. This got to be one of the most inconsistent teams in all of world football. Like, this team is... I was on the phone with my cousin last night, and my cousin is a huge Sporting fan, okay? He's a huge Sporting fan, which means he really likes Ruben Amorim, because Ruben Amorim really changed Sporting for the better, right? He did wonders for Sporting. And anyways, you know, we're on the phone with him, and I'm like talking to him and stuff like that. And I tell him, hey, man, I think United is going to get smashed tomorrow, man. I'm talking about like 4-1, 3-1. And if it's a bad day, who knows, man? It could get ugly. And that's how I felt. I thought that Liverpool was going to be able to absolutely dominate this football match and dominate Manchester United. And then I watch the football match, and I see a Manchester United that is just not the Manchester United we have seen over the year and realistically over the time that Ruben's been there. Now, this means there's a lot that goes into this, right? Is it the players motivate themselves better for big matches? Or is it that Ruben Amorim actually had a week of training with his players? Like, it's the first time he's had a good week of training with his players because games have been so close on top of each other during the holiday season, plus players were off during the holiday season, so you don't get this actual like week of training that's normal in football. Is that the reason? I don't know, right? Is it because there was no pressure on them and all the pressure was on Liverpool? I'm not sure what the answer is here, but the Manchester United that we saw today is a Manchester United that we haven't seen for a while. Let me break it down. Martinez looked like he deserved to wear the Manchester United shirt. Bruno looked like he had that magic back in him. You know what I'm saying? And Harry Maguire played today like he never deserved any stick from fans ever, right? All the jokes he's been through, all that, he looked good. And I know people will jump to his miss and be like, okay, because guys, it's 2-2. It's the last shot of the game. The ball comes rolling into Harry Maguire. He's in the perfect position. If it's a striker, he's burying this, but he's not a striker. He's a center back, and he puts it over the crossbar by a little bit. And he misses a chance for Manchester United to win it late. That's not his fault. I don't think you can blame him. I don't think you could blame him in any way, shape, or form. I think that he, look, a professional player probably should score that. But again, he's a center back. He's not a striker. So you got to give him the benefit of the doubt with that. With that being said, what you saw from Harry Maguire today was a leader on the field, was a player that was very vocal, that was very, you could see the want, to perform, to play well. And I think the energy of the team was way, way higher today. And I can't really put my finger on it. I don't understand. Is it because these players feel that they deserve to play in the, like, why can't you show up against Southampton? That's what really, like, they showed so much passion today that if you show this much passion against Southampton, against Brighton, against Everton, and every game, you're not in 13th. You're not where you are in the table right now. If you show that type of passion week in, week out, and certain players that hold themselves to a standard like Bruno, right? Bruno is considered a star in modern football, right? Right now, you would say he's one of the stars of he's supposed to be one of the stars of the Premier League, but he can't show up week in, week out. He shows up one game, then misses a bunch of games. And I really truly believe if he showed up, if he would play, like, there comes a time where certain players on a team need to step up. And it's the players that obviously are the main players, the money makers, the stars of the team, right? In Manchester United's case, it would be, Bruno Fernandes, I think Marcus Rashford, who obviously isn't getting playing time for whatever situation is going on there. Players like this, right? The big money makers, the players that are come in, even the Casemiros. And I don't think we're getting that out of those star players. But again, Ruben Amorim has a week of practice, and you see a much better Manchester United. This is what I'm going to say. And a lot of people will give me stick for this, and it is what it is. I think United need to do whatever they can to keep Ruben Amorim. And I think that if Ruben Amorim is asking for certain players that need to give it to him. And I'm going to explain why, because people are going to be like, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. A lot of people might be thinking he's not the manager for you guys. And let me explain. The reason Ruben is the perfect manager for Manchester United right now is because of his communication. And I know y'all are going to be like, what are you talking about? I've watched every single interview that he's done since he's been at Manchester United. He's been very straightforward. He's been very, he communicates with the fans properly. He's telling you why Marcus Rashford's not there. He's telling you why Garnacho got dropped. He's telling you what he thinks the problem is. He's blaming himself. He's taking accountability. He's doing all the things that Manchester United fans deserve to hear from not just their manager, but from their players. Accountability, responsibility, and the want to fix it, right? With Ten Hag, we didn't really get to see that often. There wasn't enough responsibility being taken. And with Ruben, you are seeing a lot of him taking the responsibility, never really throwing it on his players, but also when needs to call out a player, calls out a player. And I think that is exactly what this club needs right now. It needs someone that is able to tell you what direction they want to go in and be able to communicate to the fans, but communicate to the fans where the fans can actually believe what you're saying. And right now, Ruben Amorim hasn't given you a reason to not believe in him. He has been completely straightforward in every single interview. And when he was at Sporting, it was something that I used to tell to my cousin all the time that I liked about Ruben was that he was extremely straightforward, bro. In the interviews, he was honest. He was never BS, never lied, never came with no dumb stuff. He always spoke correctly. And I think when you get that out of a manager, it really sets the tone for a team. And I like that. Do I think that he's going to win the Premier League with Manchester United? I don't know, dude. Probably not. But what I do know is you understand the direction they want to go in. You understand what he's trying to do. You understand that he's taking accountability. You understand that he's taking responsibility. And he's also trying to hold his players to a higher standard. And I think for that is something that Manchester United needs at their football club right now as they rebuild into hopefully one day the Manchester United they used to be. Because everyone needs to understand, and everybody I think is starting to understand, this is not the Manchester United of old. This is a different Manchester United, and this is a Manchester United that's going to take a while to get back to that form. And for them to get back to that form, you need someone that is going to be able to communicate with the fans on a weekly basis to help them understand what the hell is going on in my football club. And I think at the moment, Ruben has done that. Even when he stepped in, the first thing they were like, what are you going to do in January? He goes, look, you guys know the situation better than I know the situation. We can't sign players unless we sell players. Very straightforward, very honest about it, jumped into it, didn't come with no BSs, wasn't trying to jump through hula hoops. He literally told you what it is, didn't get your hopes up, didn't try to tell fans that a superstar was stepping in, didn't try to tell fans he was going out to buy Jokeres, didn't try to tell fans. He stepped in, said he couldn't really buy players, took responsibility, took accountability, and kept it moving. And today was a huge result against Liverpool to win it 2-2. I do think Liverpool was kind of poor. I don't think Liverpool was to their standards. It's a 2-2 result. That's fair in my opinion because I don't think Liverpool was great today. And honestly, United had a big chance to win it with Harry Maguire. But I think if Manchester United fans can get this out of their players every single week, they wouldn't be complaining so much. Because now you showed us, these players, what you have in the tank. You now showed us that there's gas in there, right? You showed us what this team can do. Now do it against Southampton. Now do it against Everton. And more importantly, go do it, I believe, in the FA Cup coming up against Arsenal in a couple days because you have an elimination game coming up. And it's an important one for the fans. We know league football is done. It's not really going to change. Maybe you can get into those top 8 positions. That would be important for Manchester United. But when it comes to knockout football, that's a whole different competition. So for Manchester United, a big part of their season starts this week against Arsenal. They need to try to go out there and get a W and try to get closer to silverware because that's what United fans deserve. That's just my opinion. Let me know what you guys think about Ruben Amorim, and let me know what you think about Manchester United versus Liverpool. Good game from Manchester United, poor game from Liverpool, but still a good result for both teams because Like I said, Liverpool still ain't losing, man. They still in a great place.